Hi, my name's Alex Rainbow, St Nick's club secretary, very occasional right-wing / centre midfielder. Unfortunately the game was cancelled due to snow on Saturday. I had prepared a team talk, so here it goes. Do you want to just hold the auto cue a bit higher so it looks like I've memorised it well? As you know, it has to rhyme. So you can't cope without hope. Nope. It's a slippery slope. To cope without hope, you'd be like an isotope under a stethoscope that no longer has an equal number of protons in the nuclei and is therefore becoming radioactive and unstable. Don't put that science under a microscope. I know more about hope than isotopes. Just ask the Pope. You can't cope without hope. It's like walking a tightrope whilst trying to swing a skipping rope with hands that are covered with soap. To cope without hope is like being a garden heliotrope whose fragrant flowers have started to lose their fragrance over time. You could look for a periscope whilst eating a cantaloupe on top of an antelope, but even that would not help you cope without hope. Don't be a dope, mope, have hope, cope, and let's try and win at football. So I want to talk about hope very briefly for us. Obviously it's a thing we didn't have too much of last season. We've got more of it this season. And it's about two things I hear. It's about expectation and desire. Stop moving paper, this is one the right one. If it's about hope inside, if it's a big, strong hope, you might think we're going to win at football and Tom Kite is going to bag a goal. That is both a desire, obviously we're very confident that's going to happen, and it's an expectation we feel will be met. It's a strong hope. Okay, now you can put it there. Brilliant. Okay, so and also you might have heard recent media speculation. It might have led you to believe players like Agossi are really in trouble when the transfer window comes, and the assistant leader boldly put out his hopes for the future, and they might be less, more difficult to satisfy. That's a less strong hope. Getting rid of Agossi is going to be fairly tricky, really. So my biggest hope in life is Jesus, and I say my biggest hope more than that is that he's the real deal, that he's legit. And in my late teens that became my hope, but it didn't really feel that strong hope until probably my early 20s. So I had a desire when I kind of heard about Jesus a bit, that I wanted to live forever and know love and know goodness and know all that sort of stuff, have a bit of purpose in my life. Flip the next one. But actually, I had a time in my early 20s where I woke up and I was like, oh my goodness, what if this is all made up? And I was just like, hope was totally dwindled really, and I thought, I was working for a church at the time and I thought, actually, oh my goodness, I might be living a massive lie. And you might be sat here at home, or you might be sat in changing rooms if you're part of the team going, oh my goodness, it's all very well Ben banging on about that, and now Alex seems to be as well. But actually, it's fanciful stuff, it's fanciful hope. And I'm not going to bore you with the detail. Flip the page. There's no more pages? Okay, we'll have to just go for it. So basically, over time, things really changed for me, and I dug in and decided, how am I going to figure out what hope looks like in Jesus. And so I studied loads of stuff, I got all really into that sort of stuff, and I basically discovered that the chances are he was a real human that really lived, and there was all sorts of evidence to say not only he really lived, but he really died, and there was like hundreds of people that had nothing to do with Christianity, had nothing to gain from it, that claimed he died and rose again. And so that was something that made a lot of the feelings and emotion I'd had in church really feel like a proper hope. Now what has this got to do with football and St Nick's FC? It's got very little to do with playing the game really, and the reason I'm kind of sharing this now is, to be honest, we're mid-table now, and actually I don't want to dash our hopes come Christmas, but it's going to be very hard for us to win the league, and I know that's not a motivation or something to hear from the secretary, but actually there's bigger things in life than football, and whether we win or lose our next match, very few people actually have that much interest in that, and I'm sorry to be able to say that as club secretary. Obviously I live and die with the results, but yeah, anyway, I thought I'd just talk about that. I hope that's a hopeful message. You can't cope without hope. No, it's a slippery slope. Thank you.